Now, I know I'm a bit late to this, but let's talk about it, guys. The Crew 1 and the whole online-only situation within racing games, and obviously the recent news for Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown. I'm not going to go in much detail about it because I kind of want to save it for a different video, but I'm still going to cover the whole online-only thing if that is going to be confirmed for TDU SC, because I've built my channel obviously off Test Drive Unlimited 1 and Test Drive Unlimited 2. Now, if both of those games were not available or not accessible through online play because of an online only feature, I'd be lying to myself if I couldn't say that I wouldn't be as successful. Oh, well, if you want to call my channel successful. But anyways, it is definitely fair to say I wouldn't have such a large presence in the TDU community if I didn't have access to these games, because I've covered it a lot on my channel. I've had it in the background of my videos so many times. I've covered so many features of the past games. And in fact, while I was in France, I was actually able to reference playing TD1 and TD2, so at least to give Kiloton some insights towards the past TDU games. And if I couldn't play those games, my feedback wouldn't be as valid, and I'd have to go elsewhere in order to get this information about what were in the past TDU games and what made them so great and what we should be seeing in TDU SC. So let's talk about the Crew first, because I'm actually a bit suspicious about this whole thing surrounding the Crew 1, and let me tell you guys why. So obviously, as a business, you guys want to make money. It is what it is. It's unarguable. As a business, you want to make as much profit as you possibly can on your games. Now, obviously, the Crew 1 came out a long time ago, back on December 2nd, 2014. Now, here we are, basically 9 years later, and we finally have word that the game is going to be delisted and the servers are going to be shut down. But hold on, here's the thing, because last time I checked, why was there no warning of the game being delisted? In fact, being honest with you, I never played the Crew 1, guys. But the thing that I don't understand is, as a business, your main goal of your business is to drive profits. And something that Forza Horizon has actually done, and I definitely have to give them props for it, is they mentioned when the game is going to be delisted. If I remember correctly, they definitely gave you a warning, whether it be a month or more. I'm pretty certain they didn't do it on the same day. They literally just made a tweet, and if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen right now. But I'm so certain they gave us a warning when the game would be delisted, and after that when the servers would be shutting down. Now, here's the thing, there was literally no warning on this whole thing being shut down for the Crew 1 until, and take this in, it was delisted on Steam before they even announced it. And the funny thing is, there was this tweet here by Warrior64 who actually mentioned before Ubisoft or Ivory Tower or even the Crew Motorfest Twitter actually said anything. And you guys can see on the screen right now, this tweet was at 10:08 a.m. Now, obviously, the Crew Motorfest ended up tweeting and gave us a little article about it at 11:44 a.m. Now, by the way, this time zone is obviously in my time zone, so obviously translate that to wherever you are. But anyways, at 11:44, that's basically a whole almost 2 hours after the delist, they gave some more information on it. But here's the thing I don't get. If you actually go ahead on SteamDB, you guys can see that they delisted it specifically and 15 UTC is basically 10 a.m. my time. So you can see that the Warrior guy, basically 6-7 minutes after the fact, he said that the game was getting delisted. What I don't understand is, how would this even be possible? Now, obviously, you know that music licenses, car licenses are usually the reason that games have to get delisted. But as a company, if you know that your game is going to be delisted, why not give us a, like, even if it's a 1 month or even a 1 week window, and say this game is going to get delisted on our store? It made total sense that a ton of people would end up buying your game. That would actually drive your profits even higher. And the thing is, if you scroll on SteamDB, which I'll show up on the screen right now. Actually, hold on, let me actually put my camera on too. So here we are on SteamDB, guys. Now, obviously, the reviews are going down because people are upset with the whole situation. But you can see here 6 days ago, which I showed you on the screen before. And by the way, stuff like this, like movable partials, controller support, the public build getting updated, this is not done by Steam themselves. This is the actual publisher or Ivory Tower themselves updating the game for whatever reason they have so. And if your legal team knows that this game is going to get delisted even a month before, and you're updating the game a month before, and even before that, they did some pretty big tests here for Steam Deck compatibility. So what I'm not understanding, and it's funny by the way, Steam Deck compatibility, yet there's no offline patch for the game. How and why would that even make any sense? But the fact is, they've been updating this game and for a while, obviously, and very recently. So why would they not give us a warning? It just doesn't sit right with me, and I actually question how that is possible. And being totally honest with you guys, I am a firm believer, if your game is going to be online only at launch, if you do not release an offline patch at the end of the game's life, I'm not going to support that, bro, because at the end of the day, how many times can we say that we want to play a game that was in our childhood and we're actually able to play it? Now, 10 years down the road, I might want to play The Crew 1, or in TDU SC's reference, I would love to be able to play TDU SC 10 years down the road and show you guys, you know, compare it, see how much has changed. But if I can't do that, what's the point? And it's all this whole thing around the renting, because basically if you can't play the game anymore after you paid for it, you're basically renting the game. And I understand this is this whole new industry standard of games as a live service and all that, but at the end of the day, why not just offline the patch? You literally get sales from people by offline patching your game because they can then be able to buy it. Now obviously, after your game gets delisted, they probably personally don't get any money themselves. But the thing is, if Ubisoft came out and said, yo, we're going to discount The Crew 1, servers are going to be shutting down, the game's going to be delisted soon, and we're adding an offline patch so you can still play it after the fact, do you know how many people would buy it? In fact, like I said, I myself have not even played the game. So for me to see that, and I would definitely buy it. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Even from a business profit driven standpoint, none of what happened made any sense. And the funny thing is, honestly, and no one has even really talked about this, I kind of question if a car manufacturer has a very large say in this, because as we know, car licenses is a pretty lucrative business right now in racing games. I mean, Need for Speed doesn't have Toyota, for example. Way back, Porsche signed an exclusivity deal with EA and Need for Speed, and there's so many other things that go on that obviously us gamers don't even know about in terms of car licensing. But honestly guys, I think it's definitely within reason that a car manufacturer can technically have the power to be able to not only have the game get delisted, but also have the game unplayable, because honestly, it is a lucrative business. And for all we know, there's a car manufacturer out there that's saying, you know what, this game is too old, we don't want people playing our vehicles in this game, so you cannot add an offline patch to your game because we don't want people to play and see these old car models. Whatever it is, honestly, it's definitely not far-fetched to think something like that. So it's really hard. And if we have a battle like that, that battle is honestly way over our heads, and being straight up, there's nothing in the world that will be able to change that concept. But if it is obviously the publishers just doing it, then that's an easier fix. But car manufacturers, it's a lose-lose battle. I mean, it's also the same reason Grand Theft Auto doesn't even use real vehicles. They definitely make it very similar, but there's reason they don't use real life vehicles, because obviously cars get shot up, cars get damaged. It's hard to obviously get a car license when your car is going to be going through all those things. And it's why even damage in racing games such as Need for Speed, Forza Horizon, The Crew Motorfest, even Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown aren't fully modeled, because that's a whole car license thing as well. In fact, some cars and games are actually able to be more damaged than others simply because of a car license. It's a lucrative business, and honestly, I wouldn't put it past myself to believe that such thing regarding the game being playable or not can be affected by actual car manufacturers itself. But beyond all that, let's talk about Test Drive Limited Solo Crown really quickly, basically about this whole online only thing. Now obviously it hasn't been officially confirmed that TDC is going to be online only, so I can't really comment on it until we hear it straight from Nakan's mouth or KT's mouth. But the fact is, and I want to say this, Nakan and KT, now is literally the perfect time to take advantage of this whole Crew 1 situation. If you want to make your game online only at launch, sure, that's fine. For me, maybe not for others, but for me, honestly, whatever. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to battle it. It is what it is. But if you do not offline patch the game at the end of the game's life, I cannot support that. And I'm telling you guys from now, I'm not going to be able to support it, especially considering that I've built my whole channel and my whole presence in the TD community off being able to play these games, despite them coming out over 10 years ago and even past that 15 plus years ago. And I'm sure all of you guys can understand that as well, because like I said, if I was not able to create any content on any of the past TD games as I can now, who knows where my channel would be. I might not even been able to upload any content on the game whatsoever, and I would probably still be playing Forza Horizon The Crew. So like, that's not what I want. That's not what any of us want, especially as TDU fans. I mean, look at the community at TDU Platinum and the community that plays TDU 2 online. I mean, granted, TD Platinum is miles ahead in terms of its community size, but the fact is we were still able to play all these features through online mod servers, which just goes to show that there's still a market there. And it irks me so much that we didn't even get an announcement before they delisted the crew one. But literally, if Nakan and KT come out and say and make a promise and say, yo, you have our word, this game is going to be offline patched at the end of the game's life, honestly, it would go a long way. I would think it actually goes further. There'd be people who don't even play racing games that would actually respect a decision like that, because it's not very often that a publisher or a developer will go out of their way and say, before the game even releases, they're going to be offline patching this game at the end of its life. You have our word, we won't go back on it. Honestly, I could definitely see that being a positive marketing influence, and why not? That's what TDU SC needs at this point, because especially with the timing of this crew one thing, it only makes perfect sense of how this is going to work. And now in terms of the whole PvP and AI situation, just to clear things up, because I see some people saying you'll be stuck in lobbies until the lobby's full. Basically, how it works is you join a lobby. Say you could be, for example, even the only person in the lobby, it'll fill it up with AI. I think it's one of those things that until we see an action, it's kind of hard to understand the concept. It might not even be that bad, but I'll make a separate video on this, and hopefully Nakan reply to us in the new year. Follow up on the next newsletter in terms of how this is all going to work, you know, the anti-cheat reporting system, how that's going to work with cheaters, rammers, etc. There's a lot of variables that can kind of make this concept be good, but it's very hard to predict that without even hearing all these side features that can kind of complete this whole PvP AI thing. But nonetheless, hopefully when Nakan and KT do reply, I'll be able to make a follow-up video and discuss with you guys and figure out more things about the game. But for sure, and the unarguable thing here, the undeniable thing is every online only game literally has to get offline patched at the end of its life. There's no debate there. It's the only thing that's fair, and whether or not you can say that you want to drive profits on your sequel by doing that, it's just stupid, and it doesn't fit the morale. In fact, it hurts the whole morale of the game more than anything. And I don't understand why, you know, publishers don't understand this. So hopefully that's something that we see happen for Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown, if it's officially going to be confirmed that it's going to be online only. Again, we don't know if that's going to be true or not. There's nothing in that previous newsletter that said it, so we're just gonna have to assume and speculate for now. But that's all I want to say for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And yeah, I'm Alex7, and I'll see you guys in another video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.